On Wednesday, March 4, the spoilers for General Hospital do not feel light at all, even if on paper some of it sounds almost gentle. A walk by the water. A conversation between two people who once loved each other. A kiss that should mean something. A disagreement about a house. But nothing in Port Charles is ever just that simple, and I think that is why this episode might end up being heavier than it first appears. Let me start with Brooklyn and Chase, because I have been waiting for them to have a quiet moment for so long that I almost forgot what that looks like. They decide to take a walk together. Just that. No big event, no gala, no family drama breathing down their necks. It has been a long time since they simply existed side by side without some secret or crisis pressing in. I imagine the air feeling a little awkward at first. When couples go through too much, silence becomes strange. You do not know what to say. You do not know if you are allowed to be happy. Maybe they talk about nothing important. Maybe Chase tries to make a small joke. Something about how they should do this more often. Maybe Brooklyn nods, but her mind drifts. And then everything changes in a second. She sees something in the water. At first it might look like debris, maybe a coat floating strangely. But no, it is a woman. A pregnant woman. That image alone is disturbing. A pregnant woman floating on the surface of the water, unmoving. It is the kind of thing that would freeze anyone, but Brooke Lynn does not. I believe she would shout, panic in her voice, but still clear enough for Chase to understand. Chase runs without thinking. They pull the woman out. Is she breathing? Barely. That faint, fragile breath that makes you hold your own breath just to listen for it. And then the realization hits harder. She is pregnant. There is a life inside her, a life that might disappear if they are too slow. I cannot stop thinking about what this could mean. In this town, random rescues rarely stay random. What if this woman survives but cannot care for the baby? What if she does not have family? What if the baby needs someone? And Brooklyn and Chase, who have been dancing around the idea of building a future, suddenly find themselves staring at a newborn who has no one. Is it too convenient? Maybe. But this is a soap. And sometimes fate crashes into your life in the most dramatic way possible. I actually think it would be powerful if they were offered the chance to adopt this child. Not because it would be easy, but because it would test everything about their relationship. They have had trust issues. They have had secrets. They have hurt each other. Raising a child is not romantic. It is exhausting. It is real. Part of me wants this for them. Part of me worries it would expose cracks they have been ignoring. Brooklyn has always had a complicated relationship with control. Chase has always had a complicated relationship with pride. Parenting does not tolerate either of those for long. And maybe that is exactly why it would be interesting. Now, shifting to Turner and Sonny. Their conversation does not stay calm. It turns into an argument, the kind where both people talk over each other because neither wants to admit they care too much. Sonny is not a gentle man when it comes to emotions. He feels big. He reacts big. Turner challenges him, pushes him, maybe says something about his past, about his choices. And then Sonny does something reckless. He kisses Turner. Not a soft, hesitant kiss. I doubt it. It feels more like an impulsive act. Like he is trying to shut down the argument with contact instead of words. And Turner slaps him. That slap matters. It is not just anger. It is conflict. There is something there. That much is obvious. Their relationship has been building slowly, tension layered over tension. So why the slap? I have been asking myself that. Is Turner scared to admit feelings for a man like Sonny? Loving Sonny means stepping into his world, his enemies, his chaos. Maybe Turner wants him but does not want the consequences. Or maybe Turner enjoys the chase, the power of resisting, the upper hand. I do not completely trust Turner yet. There is something guarded there. Maybe the slap is not rejection. Maybe it is panic. When feelings get too real, some people lash out. I have seen that before. Still, Sonny is not someone who handles rejection quietly. I worry what that dynamic could become if they both keep pushing each other like this. And then we have Portia and Curtis. Another argument, this time about the house. A house is never just a house in Port Charles. It represents marriage, memory, promises that may or may not still mean anything. Curtis changes his mind. He does not want Portia to have full control over selling it anymore. On the surface, it sounds like control, but I think it goes deeper. Maybe Curtis is not ready to let go of what that house represents. Maybe he regrets how things unfolded. Maybe he thinks holding on to the house means holding on to a piece of stability. But here is the complication. Jordan The possibility that she is pregnant with Curtis's child. If that is true, everything shifts. Maybe she told him, maybe that is the real reason he does not want to sell the house. Maybe he imagines a future there, not with Portia, but with Jordan and a baby. That possibility would crush Portia, especially if she misreads his hesitation as lingering love. It is almost cruel how misunderstandings stack up in this town, and I cannot ignore the darker option. What if Jordan is not actually pregnant? What if she went to Britt claiming symptoms, and maybe Britt confirmed it? Or maybe she pressured Britt to create fake proof. If Jordan is faking a pregnancy to win Curtis back, that crosses a serious line. I would struggle to forgive that. Manipulating something as sacred as motherhood just to secure a man feels wrong. But if the pregnancy is real, then the situation becomes tragic rather than manipulative. And I am honestly not sure which direction the show will take. Now let us talk about Sidwell. He wants a formal deal with Carly. That alone is suspicious. And then there is Windermere, his castle, his territory. Carly breaks in. Of course she does. She has never been good at staying out of danger. Sidwell catches her. He could call the police. He could have her arrested immediately. But he does not. That is more frightening. It means he sees opportunity. He wants leverage. He wants Carly to owe him or fear him. Sidwell has already shown that he enjoys manipulating people. Britt, Lucas, and now Carly might be next. I worry about her. Carly is strong, but she is emotional. If Sidwell threatens her family, if he hints at harm or exposure, she might agree to something she would normally refuse. Valentine senses something is wrong. He waits for Carly to return and grows impatient. I can imagine him pacing, checking the time, feeling that quiet instinct that danger is near. If he believes Sidwell discovered Carly, he might rush to rescue her. But Charlotte could stop him. A daughter who has already lost too much stability would not want her father running into danger. That detail feels small but powerful. Children in this town often see the cost of their parents' choices more clearly than the parents do. And finally, Jordan's pregnancy. Whether real or fake, it hangs over everything. She goes to Britt because she feels symptoms. Britt examines her. The result could change multiple lives. If Jordan is truly carrying Curtis's child, then Portia's world shifts again. If she is lying, then she risks destroying her own integrity. Wednesday's episode feels like the beginning of a storm. A rescue that might turn into adoption. A slap that might hide love. A house that might represent a future with someone else. A castle where manipulation grows quietly. And at the center of it all, people making impulsive choices because they are scared, because they are in love, because they do not know how to let go. I do not think anyone walks away unchanged. Especially not Brooklyn and Chase. They wanted a simple walk. Instead, they might have pulled a new destiny from the water. And in Port Charles, destiny rarely arrives gently.